Friday, October 10th. I'm buying some BABA 167.5 puts at 805. This is here. Obviously, the market as a whole is moving a lot lower. There was a little pause here and then a two up, two down bar. So I'm going to anticipate at least we take out the lows of the day. I know we have some momentum continuation on the daily chart down here. If we look at the weekly chart on our two down, we did reach our first target, our neck, but there's some gaps to fill in here. We have another target down here. And obviously all the negative news today is on some China, discussions going on. So this is one of the, I just looked around the board at some of the weak stocks and I figured this one out of all of them, if we're going to continue a little lower, at least on a secondary move after that first push, this one should, lead the way. So let's see if we get to the lows of the day. And ultimately on the monthly chart, it's really long term, but I'm just taking a look at it. We have come up in two waves. We're in the middle of a monthly two up failure. We're below the open. We'll see if we get through the midpoint of that bar. I could see that midpoint being support. That's kind of at the highs of that. That's typical technical analysis, which I really don't look at that much, but it would be logical that this would be an area to pause. But that still means we can come all the way down, but down to that 150 area. We're at 160, 2 right now. So let's see if we can get to that through that 160 area into the 150s today. That would be a nice trade. And I'm just going to anticipate that this this thrust down has a secondary move to take out the lows of the day. Even if we kind of pause a little bit in here at some point, if we stay weak in the market, this one should lead the way lower a little bit more. But it is a momentum play. We reached a first target here. I think that's why we're pausing. But you can see there's all kinds of gaps to fill if it wants to get weak to the downside here. And who knows, if we close really strong red, then you kind of anticipate a little follow through in some form into next week. This is the big gap in here in the 150 area. So anyway, playing the weakness here, just gonna, relax and just see if we kind of pause orderly and eventually take out the lows of the day. And if so, what momentum might continue to build, to the downside.